I'm Will Jordan. I currently play for the Crusaders, Tasman and the All Blacks. From Christchurch, born and raised there. I've got a really close-knit family who all sort of lived around the Christchurch area. I've always enjoyed playing rugby. Started playing when I was about 5 years old for a club, High School Old Boys. Had a great bunch of mates who I played there with kind of all the way through until I went to Boys High. Yeah, I guess sport was always a big part of my life growing up. I've always been pretty competitive, enjoyed being active. Dad used to coach me every now and then, and you'd have mates, parents coaching you. It was always good fun, and go into the club rooms afterwards and have a sausage and a fizzy. My memories from that, and I guess as I went to Christchurch Boys, started to take it a bit more seriously. Had a couple of years in the first 15 there, and once I left school, things happened pretty quickly from the professional front. Mental health for me is about being able to be yourself. I think for me it's a bit of resilience there around being able to overcome challenges, having mechanisms to be able to overcome those, having a support network around you that can help you through those tough times. I think definitely the physical and mental side are hugely linked. I know for me, like I talked about, golf is a sport for me which I use to get out of my own head and clear the air a little bit. So I think it's not just one thing, it's a whole range of factors. Being social, being around people. Connection's something that we talk about a lot in rugby, and I think it's really important for mental health. In the rugby environment, you have a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows, and having people who can keep you pretty level and give you a bit of perspective is pretty important. So my parents have always been huge sounding boards of mine, huge believers in me, so I look to them for a lot of support. My partner, definitely. We've been together since high school, so she knows me in and out and knows when I'm doing well and doing not so well. And I think as well as that, you have your mates alongside you to at times keep you grounded and times to bring you up as well. That connection with them's really important, whether you're on tour, away from your family, knowing they've got your back's huge. I guess being injured, you do get a bit isolated away from the team, so you go through your tough periods with that, and not be away on tour with the boys and playing does affect you, and spending more time at home at times can isolate you a bit as well. Golf's a huge passion of mine, and so not being able to play golf for a few months was certainly quite tough, because I use that as a big release. But I guess just finding different ways to pick yourself up and understanding it's a part of the journey. Certainly it wasn't a thing where every day I was motivated and saw the light at the end of the tunnel, you could say. You certainly have days where you get a bit down on it and you're less excited about what it looks like, and that's pretty normal, I think. And I love going out there and training with my mates around me, so it's a bit different when you're not on the field, you're in the gym by yourself. It's okay to have those days and be okay with not being 100% motivated, and if you needed to have a day off, then just take it, and then look forward to getting back into it the next day, finding your purpose and attacking that. I guess I was always looking forward to trying to get back for the All Blacks and try and play for them, so had that as a bit of a goal in mind, which I think was really positive around pushing me in my rehab. I think just understanding the people who had the skills to help me. You're not an expert in every field, and for me mental health wasn't something I was necessarily fully on top of, and just finding a few techniques and ways to manage that was hugely helpful. I think awareness is huge, and I think over the last 5 years or so, the talk around mental health and being more open about it's been really critical in that. Some people in our field have been open about it, guys like Antoinette Brown and that. So as a rugby player, you certainly see that. You see other people going through struggles, and it helps empower you to seek out and find some help as well, and accept that not everything has to be perfect. Like I say, it doesn't always have to be someone who's an expert in the field. It might just be a friend or family. Having someone as a sounding board, people you trust, it was massively important. Yes, the stigma around it is that if you're struggling mentally, you kind of haven't got your stuff together. And the reality is no one's got all their stuff together, to be honest. There's a whole, life's hard at times. There's a whole bunch of things going on outside of your control. And the more we can talk about how, there are challenges out there and ways to overcome them's pretty powerful. So I think just continue to talk about it, continue to have platforms to allow people to get help. First, I'd just try and get around them. Try and do something they enjoy. I know when I've gone through tough times, going out and doing something I love has been huge for me. So try and engage something in that space, have a chat with them. I think you don't have to pretend as though you've got all the answers for them. Just being a sounding board, and listening to them can be hugely beneficial. If needed, help them to find further support. Encourage them and support them in that space. But yeah, again, not feeling like you have to be an expert in the space, have all the answers, but just be there for them as much as you can. A growth mindset's been quite important for me. I think when I was younger, feeling like you didn't know everything or you're wrong was something I struggled with a little bit. And I think over the last few years, as I've become a lot more open to failure or things you don't know and growth, that's been huge for my mental health, and seeing that as a real challenge rather than a weakness around ways to get better. So yeah, being okay not having everything all together. When I slip down a bit, like anyone, your motivation drops and you can come a bit inward. I'm a bit of a overthinker or like to analyse things, so probably get stuck in my own head a little bit and think about things or uncertainty a bit more. So getting out of your own head through talking to people or doing things is important for me, and trying to maintain a little bit of discipline I think is important. Like I say, your motivation can kind of wane, so trying to stay a little bit disciplined around your routine and what you're trying to do to pick you up on those days where you don't feel like doing stuff as much is important. But yeah, for me, it's definitely trying to get out of my own head through connection and doing stuff I love. It's a good way to get back on top for me.